Welcome to Boys, episode 72.
72.
Turn it on, turn it up, turn around, and get the fuck out of
Let's
here.
say turn it out? That's a whole other thing.
Turn me out.
That's sexual, right?
We're here to turn each other out on this, again, beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Oh, it's such a great day. On a Sunday. I got to find another Sunday song.
Sunday Bloody Sunday?
Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Wasn't there an Alabama song called Sunday in the South or something? Another Sunday in the South? Yeah.
What's going on down there?
I might not be singing that one.
No Doubt Sunday Morning. It's a good one.
Oh, that's a great one.
It's a long song.
Speaking of Sunday morning, woke up this morning feeling good.
Feeling fine?
Went to Planet Dad.
What'd you do at Planet Dad? Take a little stop in at Planet Dad?
I hopped in my ship, set the coordinates for Planet Dad, woke up, put on my coolest dad shirt, my coolest dad shoes.
Your loosest yet cool shirt?
Yeah.
Loosest fitting? A shirt you probably would never wear in public.
Nah, I got it for free. It's a cool shirt, but it's a dad shirt, but it's comfortable. So I put on my dad's shoes, which are the mowing shoes.
What are your mowing shoes? Because I got my mowing shoes.
I think everybody that has a yard, well, not everybody. I think a lot of people that have yards would have their mowing shoes, which it's funny. It's like a weird demotion of shoe. Like, you know, because your mowing shoe was once your daily shoe.
It was once your daily regular, and then something happens, you have a blowout, you have a shoe malfunction.
Or you got some new daily regs.
That's true.
My mowing shoes are some Reebok classics.
I love Reebok. Those are the best mowing shoe, by the way.
I'm going to disagree.
Why is that?
They're comfortable. Comfortable, yes. They're very comfortable. But the bottoms of mine are so worn that they're just like slippery.
Yeah. I guess I should say the most a Reebok Classic is a classic downgrade shoe. It's a shoe that gets demoted.
Yeah, absolutely. The white soles get dirty.
I bet if you look in your closet, there's a box. You have a pair of Reebok Classics or something of the like. Maybe some Adidas Classics.
A Puma, perhaps.
It's just a bulky 1980s, 1990s designed puffy sneaker.
They have that certain fabric. It's like what basketball shorts are made of.
Yeah.
They're like ribbed.
Yeah, like on the side. And then there's like suede or something.
Yeah. But that all gets bleached over time.
Oh,
the more you wear them, they start turning blue and then white. But yeah, they're my mowing shoe. Very slippery in the morning dew in the grass in the backyard.
Well, you shouldn't be mowing on the morning dew. That hurts your blades.
Is that a Dead song?
You shouldn't be mowing on the morning dew.
It might hurt your blades. Sweet baby. It was dewy. It wasn't too dewy. It was a little dewy.
Little Huey? Little Louie?
Good one.
Little Dewey.
It was all right. But yeah, I got to mowing, and man, I felt so good. I had my dad hat on, my wide brim, my
now,
safari
how do you listen to
hat.
But do you have earbuds in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I use the same earbuds that I use when I'm riding my scooter. They're like super isolating.
Do they? And they stay in the ear real well?
Yeah, they're those weird ones that have the little like rubber claw that like sticks in your ear.
Well, speaking of demoted shoes, I have demoted earbuds.
Oh, for sure.
I have demoted earbuds that I use for mowing, and they're the ones that look like bullets, and they look like they're really fancy, and you put them in, and they'll stay in there for half a song, and then one will start slowly falling out of the ear.
They just wiggle their way out.
Yeah, it's like, because that mower's shaking your...
The demoted headphone is definitely a thing. Like usually it's like, oh shit, I split these. Like, I can't rely on this for my daily driver.
Right.
But they'll do in the backyard.
I'm not going to throw that out.
No. Throw a little electrical tape on there.
Yeah, it's like a guitar cable that shits out. Like, well, I'll get around to soldering that.
Oh, I have a fucking mountainous stack of guitar and mic cables that I need to just sit down and solder and fix them. And then I'd have a fucking studio worth of mic cables. Yeah. But will I ever do it?
Yeah, no.
No, probably not.
And it'll take literally maybe 20 seconds each cable.
Yeah, but the
getting to it.
And getting in the middle of it and having to do like 40 of them, like that turns into a long afternoon.
So you were comfy. You had your hat to block the sun.
Yeah, I had my dad hat on. I had my dad's shirt. I mean, I'm dad from head to toe.
Gym shorts.
Gym shorts, yeah.
Ready to rock.
And just...
Can I ask you this? Do you rock socks when you mow the lawn or no?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I don't like the grass clippings getting down in the shoe.
Well, they get in there. They're going to get in there anyway. But true. I don't like the feel. I do it because it's one less thing you have to wash. I go barefoot, but I don't like the feeling of my foot touching the insole of a shoe. It feels sticky. It feels wrong.
I don't think I've ever been a barefootman a barefoot boy when it comes to my shoes. I don't think I've ever worn shoes barefoot.
You would think you sweat more with a sock on your foot. but your foot touching that, it just gets more sweaty for some reason.
Well, and there's cracks and stuff in there. And like, I don't know, my feet are pretty. I have beautiful feet.
It's great feet. You got the best feet.
Robbie Ray might not be much from the waist up, but he's got beautiful legs and adorable feet.
I was going to say adorable cock.
Well,
I got an adorable
sometimes.
cock.
So I was out there mowing and just thinking about like how nice it was. It was a beautiful morning. I think when I checked,
it's a beautiful day. There you go.
When I checked the app, it said it was like 68 degrees.
Yeah.
And I was
One
like,
more would have been great.
Perfect. 67. It'd be perfect to get out there and mow. So I did. And then when I'm done, like, you know, you start mowing, and I don't have a huge yard.
Is this dad talk? We're at dad talk.
We're Planet Dad.
Planet Dad.
Yeah, we're speaking their language,
the
native language of Planet Dad. Anytime I need to mow, I'm like, fucking put it off. Well, I got up this morning, I was feeling really good, and I was like, I'm just going to get it done. It's beautiful outside. It's a nice Sunday. Going to podcast in a little bit. Let's knock this out.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it through the week, because God knows I'm not doing it during the week.
I was gonna interject there. So you drive through your neighborhood, or you walk through your neighborhood, and you see all of your neighbors mowing their lawn pretty much on the same day, and it's usually a Sunday or a Saturday. Now, my thought is, do they do it because it's a free day they have, they're not at work, they can just mow? Or is it that we're all putting it off to the last fucking minute? It's like, I'll do it Sunday.
Yeah,
and
I'll do it at the end of the week.
Everyone's just doing it Sunday.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's equal parts. I'd say equal parts. I think, sure, like for me, it was a little bit of both, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was putting it off because I should have did it on Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe Saturday. Did it today. But also, yeah, it's the last minute. Work starts again tomorrow.
Yeah, like, well, if I don't do it Sunday, then I'm not going to do it again till next Friday. And God knows I probably don't want to do it on Friday.
Now, I started thinking about Planet Dad. Because I said Planet Dad to you last night when we were talking about some piece of guitar gear. And, you said, what planet would he charge this much for this guitar amp?
Yeah.
To which I replied, Planet Dad.
Yeah.
That's what got the Planet Dad going
10
in my
years
brain.
ago, I bought this amp brand new for $1,200. Well, guess what? It's not worth $1,200 anymore, my friend.
And it's weird and no one wants it.
Yeah, no one wants a Fender Cyber Twin. I'm calling you out. I don't know who the fuck it is.
I'm calling you out, Dad. It's probably a dad.
It's definitely a dad.
It was a dad description, a dad price, and let's be honest, some dad photos.
Total dad photos.
So I got to thinking about Planet Dad. What would be, like, you think about Earth, right? You think about the things we've done on Earth. You think about...
You think about the flatness of it. You think about the hollowness.
Both
things.
Both hollow and flat.
Both hollow and flat.
Yes.
It's a weird juxtaposition to planet.
What would be 3 iconic things from Planet Dad?
Like if I was to take an artifact from Planet Dad back to Earth?
Yeah, like if you put on your dad hat, your dad shoes, your basketball shorts, and your dad shirt, you got in your dad ship and you zipped off to Planet Dad, what would you be greeted with? What would be your takeaways from Planet Dad?
I've got so many buzzing around in my head. And as soon as you land, like, when you land, I've never been to Hawaii, but there's that whole thing. You land in Hawaii, there's beautiful girls there to give you lays.
Yes.
There's just a line of dads there to give you like a kiss the chef, kiss the cook apron. You get a dad hat for sure.
The standard issue belt clip for the phone.
Yeah.
That has to be.
And you put your phone, and then welcome to Planet Dad.
And your phone magically morphs into a Samsung flip phone.
Yes.
Like it goes to having a 9 key magically in your hand.
Yeah. All computers are like old school monitor and tower computer everywhere you go.
That's something that's strange to me. Speaking of dad stuff, my dad recently got a new computer. So he has an iPhone, which he got, I don't know, a couple years ago at this point. I was real proud of him.
iPhone 4?
No, I think it's a 6 or a 6. It's a 6, I think.
Okay.
So he and my stepmom, they have iPhones. She has an iPad, which she loves.
Sure.
This lady uses this iPad for everything. It's like the best gift my dad could have got her.
Right.
Very undad of him to get her that. But he got it.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? That's a new thing. Like, used to be, get your wife a nice diamond necklace. Get your wife a nice pearl necklace. Get your wife something, or some flowers.
Some flowers.
Now it's just like, hell, go on down to the Best Buy, drop a couple $100, get her a nice iPad.
But you're going to get her the bottom of the barrel one.
Yeah, you're going to get like the basic. Now,
the
hold
16
on.
gig.
No, here's the thing about dads. He's going to go up and go, what's GB mean?
Yep. Is that how fast it is?
Well, there's 32 GBs on this one, 16 GBs, but it's like $200 difference. Does she really need that many GBs?
Then he's going to scroll over. He's not on the iPad. He's going to stroll over and start looking at Chromebooks.
Yep.
or Google tablets or,
Fire. What are those, Kindles?
Yeah, a Fire. And he's going to be like, well, this is the same thing. It's half the price, though. A message for all the dads out there. Just get the fucking iPad.
Message to dads. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same. And I've been in that. I've been in those dad shoes.
Oh, we were recently in those dad shoes when we were shopping for some gear for the podcast.
Yeah, you and I have been talking about upgrading some stuff around here and really taking it to the next level.
Yeah, but we both dadded hard.
We dadded so hard.
Well, I mean, the new iPad's pretty pricey. This Chromebook's $199.99.
So listen, there comes a time in a podcast life where you got to make some technological advancements.
True.
So we decided to try that. I had an idea that it'd be nice for both of us to have like laptops, so we could look things up. We have a very large TV in the new studio here. It's like we could hook up.
You just call it. You just zoom it. Is that what they call it? You just zoom it right on over.
You zoom it over, Dad. You zoom it to the Vizio. Run the audio out into the board so we can hear what we're listening to, watching. Whatever. There comes a time in a dad's life, a boy's life, where you need a new computer. I have an iMac that I've had for many years. I've gotten thousands of hours of productivity and entertainment out of it.
I bet a lot of entertainment.
A lot. And
big screen.
big screen. Very clear retina display. I've had it forever. Well, it's seeing its last days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fine.
But okay, that's the thing,
I'm ready to upgrade.
That's the thing, though. I've always been, how I was raised, same thing with passing the shoe down to the mowing status. You use something until it's no longer functioning. A car, for instance. Josh, you don't need a new car. Hell, that Mustang's going to drive until it dies. And guess what? I literally drove that car until it was no longer fixable. Then you get something nice. But now people are just like the iPhones. Every fucking year there's a new one and they get rid of it. It's like, it's still a phone. It works. Same thing with computers. Your computer's still fine.
It's fine.
But it's not the best.
It's not the new one with the best display and the thinner and this and that, and it's a little bit faster.
Like the movie Thinner?
Yeah.
Good.
Thinner.
Good blowjob.
Did that to myself. Was there a BJ scene in Thinner?
Yeah.
Was his dick really thin? Was it like sucking a straw?
Let's do a Family Guy moment. So, it reminds me of that time I was watching Thinner when I was 13. I was at a get-together with some friends. We were in probably 8th and 9th grade, and their parents rented Thinner, so we're all in the living room, boys, girls alike, a bunch of teenagers, watching it, and then the blowjob, there's a scene where they're driving in the car, how he becomes the Thinner.
By a BJ?
His wife is giving him a little road head. He's like, oh, and then they...
Wait. What's he doing?
And then... he hits that old gypsy lady in the road, or a gypsy woman.
I never knew it was because he was getting a beach.
And then she goes, Thinner. Yeah.
Did she touch him? Didn't she touch him?
She put her hand out to him and goes, Thinner.
Oh, God.
And we were all like, I think that's a blowjob. I think that's what that is.
Awesome.
Hadn't got one yet.
Just heard tale.
You know what? And then like 6 months later, you get one. You're like, oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
I just don't think I'd want a BJ while I'm driving.
You never got one? I don't think so. It's a young man's sport because you really have to pay attention to the road. Growing up in Choctaw, there's a lot of back roads, so you can just...
mile marker stretch of, stop signs there.
Just like, there's no cops around. Let's just do this.
I don't think I've ever received a roadie. I don't think I've ever...
Have you ever given one?
Have I? Given 3 today.
Have I ever?
Had to get to the gas station somehow.
Yeah.
We've all dadded.
Sure.
There comes a time where I feel like I need a new computer. Yeah. I thought, okay, I need a new computer, and I kind of want to maybe like upgrade for the studio. I was like, man, I'm going to look at getting a MacBook.
Yeah.
Sounds tight.
Have you ever had a MacBook?
No.
Okay.
Because I got the iMac instead, because since I do video editing a lot, I like to have the bigger screen. They're a little bit more powerful.
That's a dad of going, hell, this one's more power. It's bigger. I'm going to use it more often. I can't take it to the Starbucks, but how often am I going to the Starbucks and using my shit?
Yeah.
I got an iPad. I can use that on the couch.
It's a different kind of dad, but a dad nonetheless.
Because the iMac's cheaper than the MacBook usually most of the time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Or you get a little more for your buck.
You get more bang for it. It's a bigger display, that's for sure.
Well, and I used it for many years to edit many podcasts and video and Photoshop and legal torrents and all kinds of things, So I thought about, I was like, man, maybe a MacBook's for me.
Yeah.
What do we do instead? We go down, you and I, on a Friday, head on down to the Best Buy.
That was a weird Best Buy experience, by the way.
Was it?
I told my wife what happened. She's like, that's weird. We got like followed by dudes. And they're like, can I help you? No, just looking around. Yeah, let us know if you need anything. And then just follow us around the whole store. But I've never been hawked like that before.
It's so weird because when I went to take the Chromebook back,
old take it back.
Yeah, the old return policy boys.
Right on the wire.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm coming in at 8:59 on the Thursday it's due back. When I went back to take it back, which I guess I am jumping ahead of ourselves, we tried these Chromebooks. Sure. They're cute little machines.
I mean, I kept mine. It doesn't.
You still have yours?
I still have it.
Okay, cool. I took mine back. You know, I told we kept going back and forth. Like we got in, we were stoked about it. I'm like, oh, these are cool. These are pretty quick. I think this is gonna do.
No. Mine was immediate. I got mine, and by the time we got to the parking lot, I was on Craigslist and like, someone's selling one for $150 in the box.
That's fucking Planet Dad.
I might just take it back right now and get my money back and just offer this guy $100. I just saved $100.
And I remember being like, isn't there something to be said for having a new one though? Like it's yours. Like and you're like, this one says in the box,
it's
dude.
New in the box.
I can save $20. All I have to do is waste an entire afternoon.
And then like 4 days later or something, you text me a link to like, now they're selling for like $175.
Amazon special.
Damn it.
Then I texted you a couple days later.
Getting haunted by that Samsung.
I texted you a couple days later and I was like, thoughts on those Chromebooks? You know, there's a 14-day return policy at Best Buy. And you're like, yeah, you let me know. And I was like, you let me know. And I felt like we were playing a game of chicken.
Who's going to do it first?
Yeah, who's going to first?
Well, you did it and I was like, man, I might. Because I was enrolled in school. I was waiting for all that financial aid BS to go through. I was like, I'll just use it for school. It'll be fine. And I use it every day. Like it's my web browser. It's really good for just web browsing. I don't download anything. Everything's in the cloud now.
They are great little machines. Yeah. They are. I should have just kept it. It wasn't even that expensive. Yeah.
Slap some stickers on it and make it punk rock.
That's my motto of life. You know,
it's got a USB port.
HDMI out.
HDMI out. You can do just about anything on that. Sure, there's a little lag, if you will. It's not the fastest.
The thing that bothered me the most was the screen quality. Because on my iMac, even though it's old, it's got the Retina display. It looks sharp. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. I also, and we'll get into this in a moment. Also, I have a tablet.
We're still on Planet Dad, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the hotel room looking at our gear.
Okay.
God, a dad hotel.
It's a Best Western. They're only Best Westerns on Planet Dad.
You're sitting by the tiny pool with some beer and a cooler. Yeah. That's a dad. To me, a dad is swimming at a shitty hotel.
The swimming pool that's like in the parking lot?
Yes. It's like the size of,
this room.
It's the size of, it's about 14 feet by 20 feet.
And it's only, if the deepest it gets is 5 feet deep. So
kidney shaped. And your dad's acting like that's just, you went to fucking Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's living it up out there. He's got his little radio. Mm-hmm. He's listening to the football game or whatever. And you're just out there splashing around like an idiot while he's getting drunk.
With a styrofoam cooler that he got at the gas station on the way into town.
Absolutely. Keep it in the koozie so they can't see that you're drinking beer out there. I remember as a kid when I rarely stayed in a hotel with my dad. Mm-hmm. It was family vacation. Usually we'd stay with some family or whatever.
Or something. Yeah.
But sometimes we'd stay in a hotel. Yeah. And you best be sure that my dad was balls deep in that pool within 30 minutes of checking in.
If I'm paying $60 a night, I'm swimming in that pool any free minute I got.
Yeah, he's basically paying $60 for his family to swim.
It's a water park.
Yes. It's a dad water park.
A swim and nap.
I also have a tablet.
Okay.
So my thought was, okay, I'll get this Chromebook or this MacBook or whatever. Mm-hmm. My dad hadn't got the Chromebook.
The dad book.
But I thought, I'll sell the tablet on Craigslist.
Nah, it's a dad too.
To flip it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to buy this, then I'm going to flip this and refuel a little bit of this fund over here.
I'll have X amount of money left over that I can use for future purchases.
I do that every time I make a large purchase, like if it's like a piece of music gear I really want, or this MacBook that I haven't received, or bought or whatever. But I'll start to like use the logic, be like, okay, if I buy the MacBook, well, I could sell that tablet for about $200. Okay, so that brings the price of the MacBook down to this.
Sure.
Well, I also got that I could put on Craigslist.
Start gear budgeting.
Oh yeah, and I try to get it paid off in my head.
And how long it will take to sell a certain product if you put it on reverb and
and make sure I can like cover my bases while I'm doing this flipping.
Sure, especially if it's a big purchase,
like, a preemptive flip.
Like, okay, I don't have $1,000. I do, but I'm gonna need it back ASAP.
Yeah.
So you start figuring out how quickly can you. Yeah.
My problem with the Chromebook was the screen. The screen was just kind of dim. It's not very sharp.
I've always used less than Mac worthy products. My last really nice laptop was given to me by the late great Matt Hall. It was a what brand was that? Not Toshiba, not HP, not Dell. It was a really nice one.
Gateway?
It was a Gateway. It was a 17.5-inch Gateway. Super powerful. He got it for his World of Warcraft shit.
You know who sold him that laptop?
You did?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was nice. I loved it. And then it just shit the bed. Probably all that porn I was downloading.
I bought that laptop on Craigslist and sold it to Matt Hall because I did a dad. I was like, I can play WoW on a laptop just fine. But then once I got the laptop, I was like, man, I kind of need a tower and a monitor and like an actual mouse and keyboard because it's just more comfortable to play a game on that.
That's what Matty did. Matty had that for like a week and then he just gave it to me and then bought himself that. And I fucking loved the shit out of that. It's the last good thing I had. And then I just kept having shitty like Dells or whatever. Yeah. And like Diana has a Dell laptop. The Chromebook is better than the Dell laptop.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So it's doing its job.
It's doing its job. Just not for you. Not what you need.
And I guess the moral of the story is I just need to wait, do more research, maybe just hold on to what I got. I did.
That's on the Welcome to Planet Dad. And it's got rules of Planet Dad. Wait, do more research.
Hold on to what you got.
Hold on to what you got. What you got's good enough at Planet Dad. The restaurants, it's just meat, burger, just burgers, burgers, steaks, taters, and then the bar menus is Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light,
all light beer,
and then like just shitty like Kentucky like just dad drinks.
Maybe a bottle of like moonshine or Fireball, the legal moonshine, of course. You don't want to do anything illegal on Planet Dad. No, you'll get dadded.
You'll get dadded for
Things
sure.
about Planet Dad, like
skunkweed, maybe.
Planet Dad, where all the bills are paid on time. Planet Dad, like I imagine as soon as my ship lands, this like alien dad comes out and like checks the oil in my shit. Be like, you're a quart low. I got some in the garage. If you don't need to go buy any, I got some. Let me top off your windshield wiper fluid while you're here.
Hell, you know what? You just go inside, get yourself an ice cold beer. I'll be out here working on your ship. Change the oil. I'll refill your coolant. All that.
The alien dad are really nice. I feel like they're a nice species.
Yeah, they're
a nice race.
Yeah.
So there's my thoughts on Planet Dad.
Planet Dad. We'll revisit this planet. We'll take a trip to Planet Dad every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Well, welcome to Boys Podcast, episode 72.
I'm Robbie.
I'm Josh.
And we're here, like we said earlier, on a beautiful Sunday.
A great Sunday morning, Sunday day, afternoon. I don't know. It's a day. You can find us at boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. Links to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that.
Boys Podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Please rate, review, and subscribe if you like what you hear. And most importantly, tell a friend.
Tell that friend. You can also email us at boys@boyspodcast.com. Any suggestions, just your feedback, whatever. And speaking of feedback, if in your email you put your physical address,
not your email address,
not your AOL.com, not your Yahoo, not your Hotmail, if you fancy, and we'll give you a sticker pack, a little prize pack, if you will.
It's our way of saying thank you for the feedback. And also thank you to our sponsors. We got our boys at Anthem Brewing, tried and true fellas, been with us, I think, from pretty much the very beginning.
Almost from the beginning.
Episode 5, I think.
I think it's around 5, yeah.
Anthem boys jumped in, keep us hydrated with delicious beers like the Arjuna, like the Ouroboros Stout, like the Golden One.
The OK Pills. All the other good ones. The IPA, my favorite.
The IPA, so delicious.
Good.
AnthemBrewing.com, great dudes, great beer.
Jesus. Did you just come?
Fat Bison. FatBison.com. Our friend, I almost said our friend buddy. Our friend buddy, Matt Street.
He's a friend, but he's more of a buddy. He's kind of a friend buddy.
He's a buddy friend. Yeah, he makes these beautiful, hard-crafted hand signs that are so wood that they hang. Beautiful signs. Check them out at fatbison.com. We're talking about maybe working out some sort of deal to get like a coupon code. But for now, buy his wood. It's good wood at fatbison.com.
So good wood.
And lastly, OKC Comedy.
OKC Comedy. OKCComedy.com. They've got a calendar, shows you all the shows coming up. One show coming up is WWF, because it was back in the WWF days. Fuck that shit. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Whoo! Or whatever he says.
Ho!
How do I not remember that?
I don't know.
Frankie Sharp Records.
That's Friday, October 27th. Yeah. Check it out at OKCComedy.comedy.
Yeah.
OKCComedy.com.
Wear your best Halloween costume.
Oh, I've been in some discussions, by the way, of the correct pronunciation of Halloween.
We'll get to it.
I said, what do you walk down?
A hall.
Okay. Lastly, thank you to the people who have donated, the people who have tweeted, the people who have spoken on behalf of Boys Podcast. Keep those likes, comments coming in. It means a lot to us. And like I said on last episode, we recently hit 11,000 downloads. I feel like that's kind of a milestone.
That's a lot of downloads. That kid knows the downloads.
Thank you guys so much for listening. It means the world to us for the continued support. And we'll get back into the show now.
Yeah.
Enough of that shit.
Enough of that shit. So we're off a plane and Dad back on Earth. So my wife and I, the other night, it was a Sunday. We were planning our week meals and such. Like, what would be really good for breakfast tomorrow? Oh, you know what'd be great? Biscuits and gravy.
Oh, classic B&G.
You know what you need for biscuits and gravy? You need flour. You need butter. You need milk. We had milk. We didn't have the butter or the flour. So we decided to stop in a little store called Buy for Less. It was right on the way home. Stop in to get some flour. I run in. She stays in the car.
Leave it running? Yeah.
Took a while for me to find it. I haven't been in a Buy for Less in a while. It's not chaotic. It's just large.
Yeah.
Signage isn't really, the aisles don't really tell you exactly, they tell you what's on it, but it may or may not be there.
Right.
So I found this flour and I grabbed a bag. I did not inspect the bag. I grabbed the bag and I'm walking to find the butter, and I find the butter on the other side of the store. And then I go to the checkout lane. And as I'm in the checkout lane, I'm doing that, kind of look around, and I look down and there's flour all over my jeans and brand new shoes. Mind you, I'm wearing like all black. So it's covered in flour. And I look behind me and there's just a trail of flour everywhere I walked.
How big of a trail? Like, was it steadily leaking out?
It was steadily leaking out. Like, it's almost like I was trying to entrap someone, like entrap an animal into something. And I'm like, God, fuck. And I look at the bottom, there's a giant hole in the bottom of my bag. So I take it back and I just put it right back on the shelf, grab another one, deep inspect it, bring that back. And then there's a line. So in the line, I'm thinking, did I just get punked? Like, was there some kid in an aisle somewhere with a camera filming me and laughing about it? Would that even be funny?
No, it wouldn't be funny.
No.
Maybe if it was put to like funny music.
But here's the thing, because it wasn't like, oh, there's too much weight in the bag and it just broke open. And it wasn't where it, the fold on the bottom is. Mm-hmm. It's like someone purposely cut the side of the bag and but to where like the pressure of it would keep it in until you picked it up.
Yeah, that wouldn't be funny.
No, it was, I felt no one else seemed to notice. Like, no one said anything about it, but I'm clearly covered in flour.
Was it like all over your lap?
It was all like from waist down. Like, it was just powdery white all over my pants.
Oh my gosh.
It was ridiculous.
I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny when somebody does the thing with the salt shaker.
No.
That
happens. Or the big sugar thing. That used to happen we used it when we were kids. We would do that. We'd go to a Tasty Burger, a Dude's. Happened a lot at Dude's.
A Burger Ranch.
A Burger Ranch. Everyone knows it. You unscrew it just to the point where it looks like it's still on, and they go to put some salt on their shit, and now their meal is ruined.
Their meal is ruined.
And now
I thought it was so cute as a kid.
Imagine a dad getting that. That dad's going to be irate. I paid $8 for this burger and fries.
Which is already way too much.
I spent too much, and he already talked about it as he was sitting at the counter ordering it, even though clearly it's on the menu. You've been coming here for years. Sir, yes, it's $3.99 for the burger. It's another $1.99 for the fries. You do this every fucking Sunday. That's fine. And then he sits down, covered in salt.
On Planet Dad, that wouldn't fly.
But it goes back to what I'm saying about like feeling punked, Ashton Kutcher style. That the kid's not going to stay and watch, because we didn't stay and watch. The joy was knowing that it's going to happen to someone. but not thinking in the future of you just ruined someone's day. That's the meanest thing you can do.
Yeah, in that moment that you feel that you might be being punked.
We're going, it's going to get all over the place.
The moment that you feel like you're being punked, that's the worst moment. It's like, what?
Why would you do this?
I had a similar moment when I was fixing this fence, dad style, on the side of my house.
Yeah.
I had to go get a bunch of bags of concrete. I want to say that I bought 30 bags of concrete.
That's a lot of concrete.
That's a lot of concrete. So I'm going into Lowe's by my house, and I'm going to the concrete section, you know, the contractor section on the far end.
Oh, yeah, the very end where no one should really go.
No one does go.
No.
It's like so empty back there and weird and barren. So I go back there, and I see this like tower of concrete bags. They're all stacked neatly, and they're super tall. Like so tall that you wouldn't want to grab the highest bag.
No, it's going to squish you.
Well, they're very heavy. They're like 80 pounds or I think between 60 and 80 pounds per bag.
Concrete's heavy.
Yes, it is. Even before you add the water.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how to get these bags of concrete down because of course there's no employees around.
Sure. And you don't want to bother anybody, even though that's their fucking job.
Right. And they're going to have to get like a lift out because this concrete was like as tall as me.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to get that bag down? That is way too heavy to be holding up that high above me.
Well, that's another thing on Planet Dad. You don't ask an employee for help.
You just climb the shelf.
You just climb the shelf and get it yourself.
You ever climbed a shelf and been like...
Oh, yeah. Have you ever climbed a shelf and knocked everything down?
No.
Did that as a kid. Once or twice at the grocery store trying to get that candy.
That top shelf candy.
They put the good stuff up there.
Yeah, out of reach. I've climbed a shelf, though, as an adult to try to get something and been reprimanded by a Home Depot employee. Sir, you're not supposed to do that. Fuck off.
Well, if you were around to do your job, I wouldn't have to.
I'm taking my life in my own hands so I can get the touch lamp that no one else got. Like, I want the one that's not dented.
Yeah.
I want that one.
No one's put their stinky peanut butter hands on.
So I'm here in this aisle trying to get this concrete. And I'm like, I just don't know how I'm going to do this. It's so tall. It's so heavy. So I thought, you know what? Fuck it. So I start kind of scaling the concrete wall. And I pull the bag.
Are you climbing on bags? Or
yes.
Okay.
And the bags were stacked in a way where it almost had little places where you could put your feet and hands.
Like a rock climbing wall.
In effect, it was a rock wall. It was a
pre-rock wall.
An individually wrapped rock wall is what it was. So I'm climbing up this thing and I'm like, okay, if I can get the first one down, I was reverse Tetrising in my head. I was like, if I get the first one down, I could get that one. Okay. And I need a lot of these. So I bet after a few, this isn't going to be too hard. I get up, I get the first bag down. No problem. Load it on the little flatbed carts they have there that are always really awkward to move.
Yeah.
Get the first one down, get the second one down. Go to grab the third one. And then it must have been the same kid from Buy for Less. The bag was split.
Oh.
And concrete just started dry concrete started pouring out of this bag.
Just cascading down
like a fucking rock slide. And I'm just like, oh shit. And it's loud and there's still no one around. I get it down. I throw that bag to the side, that half empty bag to the side. I felt like some sort of weird rock person, like foraging a pit to get the precious materials. It was so weird.
Yeah.
No one ever came to help.
No.
About 3 bags in, I realized how fucking dumb and how heavy these bags are.
Yeah.
I'm like taking my life in my own hands for concrete.
Well, okay. So did you tell anyone that you spilt concrete?
No.
Because I told a person that was my flour, even though I'm covered in flour standing in line.
You're clearly the flour bandit.
But no one asked. No one asked, even though there's a trail of flour behind me. And I thought, this probably just happens all the time. People just spill shit and leave it. All the time.
Absolutely.
How often have you gone to a grocery store and seen like a half bottle of Coke that someone just started drinking and then just left somewhere, or just open bags of shit?
Now, a lot, to answer your question, all the time. Are you the kind of person that will open something in a store, be like, I'll pay for that when I leave?
No.
Like a soda?
No.
Not that you drink soda, but like, a bottle of water.
I've thought about it. I've seen it happen several times. That people will go like at Whole Foods because the thing is like right up front. They'll grab like an iced coffee thing, open it, drink it, and walk around with it. To me, that's kind of like stealing.
It's temporary stealing.
Yeah.
Because you haven't paid for it.
Temporary theft.
You're consuming something you haven't paid for, but you're on the premises.
Yeah, I promise I'm gonna pay for it in a minute.
Yeah.
But what if you decide, they don't have what I need here. And and that's where it is like, oh, I came for ramen noodles and they only have udon, and they just leave half of it just sitting there in the noodle section and just walk out.
Could you walk into like a Zales and like eat a wedding ring and like wait and then run out when it's like almost out of you or like being digested?
No, you put it like, can I try this on? Cool. And you try it on, like, I'm just going to walk around with it in the mall. I want to see what I think about it.
Well, but that's a store in the mall.
Well, the mall is...
But they bust you when you leave the store, not when you leave the mall.
But they shouldn't, because the mall is just a giant store of stores.
It's a store. It is a store of stores. You choose your store, then you choose what you want to steal from the store.
Yeah.
But they bust you. We worked in the mall. They bust those teenagers, those pesky teens.
That's one of the things too. They tell you once they leave the store, you really can't do anything. You can contact mall security. Mall security can do something.
You're not supposed to chase someone or grab someone.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And you can't really tell a person they stole something.
See, I don't steal.
Never did? Never been a thief?
I mean, to say I've never stolen anything in my life would be a lie, but I've never I've never been a thief.
I went through a real big...
Were you a thief?
I wasn't. My girlfriend at the time was... I think I've talked about it on the podcast before.
I don't know if you have.
It was dating a kleptomaniac.
Maybe you have.
She couldn't help herself, but I got a lot of fly clothes because of it, all with little tiny holes in the side of the shirts from where the tags were.
Did she steal your clothes?
She stole clothes for me.
Did you ever steal clothes?
Once or twice. You layer them on. See, sometimes I didn't have to because the dude working was a buddy, and he would just like act like he rang them up and use like a library card and pretend it was a credit card. And just you get a bag of clothes and walk out.
He stole them for you. You were just the carrier mule.
I didn't.
Back to your own house.
And if they're like, hey, I gave him a card. I don't know.
The only reason I don't steal is because
it's wrong.
I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it is. It's wrong.
But all the time, that little devil on my shoulder is like, if you were a thief, you could totally steal this.
Sure.
Because people that work at a lot of stores nowadays do not give a fuck. There's two things. There's the burnt out employee that could not care less. You go into a Zoomies, there's a beanie chilling right there. Oh, there's no security tag on it. Why couldn't I just put this beanie on and walk out with it or slide it in my pocket? But I don't, and I won't. But the thought does cross my mind, like that is an option.
Yeah.
I just choose to not do that.
Well, that's the thing. It shows you that is a choice.
Right.
Because everyone has the thought. If you've never had the thought, then you're not a real human being. You're not a person. You're an alien creature from not planet Dad, from another planet. Planet Weirdo.
Planet Uncle.
Planet
So there's the burnt out employee.
Yeah.
Then, and this is just from my point of view, there's like this new like hipster like shop owner, like, nobody steals. Like, nobody steals anything. Like, no, people steal all the fucking time. Do you realize if you go into a large store, whether it's a Walmart, a Best Buy, the mall, the store of stores, theft is happening all around you.
Oh yeah, all the time. Anytime you're in a store, if you spend enough time in a store in the mall, if you're in that store for let's say half an hour, 2 people have stolen something in that half hour you're in there. I worked at a little store in the mall called, what was it called? The Body Shop. And it's so easy to steal shit from there because
Josh the Body Montgomery working at the Body Shop.
They were just little canisters of like body butter and things like that. Oils that don't have tags on them because, what? It's a small store. So yeah, and anytime in every like, month or two, you do like inventory. And we're like, oh, cool. So like $700 worth of shit was stolen the past 2 months. That's cool. You try to keep an eye on it, but it's really hard to do.
It's impossible. Yeah. Or you'll be walking around a store and you'll see like an open package and you're like, sometimes I'll pick it up and be like, oh, damn, they got out with this?
Yeah.
That's pretty ballsy. That's good.
Oh, okay. Have you ever gone to a gas station and you're going to get like a beer, like a sixer or something, and you notice like there's a 6-pack that has a beer taken off of it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Probably. I don't know if that's stealing so much or is it somebody trying to buy a single?
You can't buy a single beer, can you?
Yeah. In 7-Eleven, you can buy single beers.
So you can just crack one off and just...
No, not from the pack. You can't pick it from the bunch.
Oh, it seems like that was someone was trying to do that.
Or maybe they pocketed one beer. But who steals one?
A homeless guy with baggy pants.
True.
What was that movie where the guy... Oh, it was the kids or the dude put the 40 in his...
They like put their cuffs of their like huge Jinko jeans on and then like slide the 40s down the leg. I always thought that was ballsy. I was like, they're stealing a lot of beer.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
Yeah. Jinko's good for stealing 40s.
Yeah. So we got an email.
Okay.
Speaking of boys at boyspodcast.com, we got an email from one of our buddies, Joel. And I'm just gonna read the email. We'll share our thoughts on it. How's that sound?
Sure.
This was in 2nd grade, so it must have been 88 or 89. This girl in my class, Monique, apparently had a crush on me. At the time, her affections were quite obscure given the method of her flirtation. In retrospect, after nearly 30 years of life experience, her motives make perfect sense. At recess one day, I am grabbed by no less than 6 girls and pinned up against a wall. Monique steps into view in a frilly white dress and black patent leather shoes. I'm just picturing like Little Rascals for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a lot of girls.
Yeah.
That's a gang. That's a gang of girls.
6 girls in the 80s. A gang of girls. She says, she lines up like special teams on a kickoff, takes a couple quick steps before punting a field goal to my nuts. I crumpled as one would such in a situation. I remember finding myself lying on the ground, tears streaming down from my face, unsure what sort of unholy creature women were, and contemplating the cruelty of life at such a young age. My first interaction with Shay, Joel's wife, ever, I introduced myself by biting her on the shoulder. I'm not sure if the events are connected, but I'm apparently speaking her language. So, my question is, why? Why would this little girl kick our friend Joel in the nuts?
I think there's got to be some sort of animalistic lizard brain kind of mentality with that. Like, maybe it's to protect yourself from being hurt down the way. Like, hey, I like you. Fuck! And like, instead of going like, I love you, and like just giving your heart to a person.
Yeah, but
you physically attack them first to show, hey, you hurt me, I'll kick your ass.
I'll kick your balls.
I'll kick your balls.
I like you. I'm going to kick you in your pleasure berries.
Did you ever do that? Did you have like a crush when you were a kid?
Many.
And did you do that? Did you push them or anything? Or?
I was never a violent lover.
Me neither.
I
was a poet.
I guess my question with Joel's email here is, like, I get why, because I saw it growing up.
Oh yeah, lots.
And I see the connection between like the animalistic side of humans and this kind of action. But it still blows my mind that it happens. I can understand like chasing a girl around.
Yeah.
Right?
But I totally get all that. But when I read that many girls, like, I'm just imagining him being held by his arms and like, because it's going to take, I mean, girls are the weaker sex. Everyone knows that. It's going to take 6 of them to hold this little boy up. That's a joke. But right. I'm just imagining like 6 girls pushing him against the wall. And then she just like comes into frame like a bully. It's like, hey, I like you. And then just kicks him in the nuts.
Like it's a prison yard.
Yeah.
That's and to me,
and she like spits on him when she walks away.
To me, there are a lot of running similarities between an elementary school playground and a prison yard.
Oh hell yeah,
big time.
Yeah, there's you get chimed in. You get 15 minutes in the yard.
All right, little beautiful children that's never done a thing wrong in your life. When that bell rings, you get your asses back in there and sit down. I don't care what you were doing.
You're locked, and the classroom doors are like jail cells. And there's like a little fucking rectangle. It's a one tiny sliver window. And all you get to see is someone walking by. Hey, what's going on out there?
It's those tiny sliver windows with the chicken wire in the fucking glass, man. To protect the children.
No, you're a kid. You're locking them in.
You know what? Is it to protect the children? Or
and then you roll call.
Dude, it's lunch?
Yeah.
Cafeteria lunch? Does that not look like a prison lunch?
You're lined up. And just flop and slop on your plate.
Flop and slop, fucking prison food.
You sit in a gym.
You have to take gym.
Oh.
You have to pump up.
Yeah.
You have to get your pump on. Dude, it's blowing my mind.
And it's that no visitation.
No.
And it's mandatory. You have to go.
And you have to be checked out by your parents.
Yep.
Like, that's the only way. You can't just leave school.
How do they transport you? A fucking bus.
In high school, we had open campus, open lunch. There'd be a fucking cop on a horse or in a car guarding the exit of the school. Yeah. And if you left, they would fucking check your note or they would follow you.
I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
So going back to the playground, I do remember this kind of thing happening. I never pushed a girl. No. I might have teased a girl, and like pinched her, whatever, but never like pushed a girl down or anything like that.
I wrote notes. I
use my words.
I was emo at an early age, I guess. I would like write how pretty I thought she was, and I liked her, and you do like the check yes or no box or whatever. And
did you ever get the note back with the or circled?
No.
It was so cute.
She would make one with maybe, and it would happen a lot. And I'd be like, okay, maybe that's a sign. That's good. It's not no.
Right.
But it always means, what are you going to do for me?
You get that note back, and there's that moment in your little boy brain where you're like, yes, I'm in.
Or what you do is you find her friend, because, you know, girls have like their your go-to, you know. I would be yours. If we were kids, if someone liked you, they'd come to me and they go, hey, tell Robbie that so-and-so thinks he's cute.
Right.
And I'd be like, hey, Robbie, Sally thinks you're cute. What do you want me to say?
Tell her friend to tell her, you tell her friend, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's how it goes.
So on my playground, there was a girl named Lisa. Mm-hmm. Lisa looked like a young Dolly Parton. Pardon? Is it Parton or Pardon?
Parton. Did you say that because she had big boobs or something?
She did. She had breasts.
She was an early developed child.
She was an early developer.
Okay. Blonde hair and all that stuff?
Big. That was the thing. More than the boobs.
Big Texas hair?
Big Texas hair. Mm-hmm. Like, you remember Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife?
Yeah.
Okay. Half Dolly Parton, half Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife.
So she was a large.
She was a little larger, but big titties. Yeah. Big, young titties. She was very country. She wore like Rocky jeans. We were probably in like, I want to say we were in like 6th grade. So we weren't little kids, but we weren't quite young adults.
You were, what's the word for that?
Adolescent kids. Yeah. And Lisa was a boisterous, heavy-set young lady. Big breasts.
Loud?
Yeah, loud. Mm-hmm. You know, wore makeup at a young age, was very over the top. And then there was Justin. Mm-hmm. Justin was like, if you did an 80s movie, if you casted an 80s movie of 5 kids, this kid would have played the jock, but the fat jock. Okay. Like the beefy, mulleted, kind of pig-like, I carry a football everywhere. I'm a big jock.
Like the dude in Varsity Blues.
Kind of. Okay. Yeah, a young...
Whatever his name was.
Whatever that...
R.I.P.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace. So yeah, Justin fit this role.
Okay.
Lisa would always wear these pointy white cowboy boots.
Okay. Cowgirl boots.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Actually, back then they were cowboy boots. Back in a better time. So... Justin would sit on the edge of the merry-go-round, right? Mm-hmm. And he'd be sitting there at lunch, and we'd be finished with our lunch. We'd be in the holding cell or the holding yard until we had to go back to our cell. And Justin would be like, "Hey," I was his go-to guy. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey, Robbie, go get Lisa for me." And I'd be like, "All right, I'll go get Lisa for you." I'd walk over to the girls' area. Mm-hmm. Lisa, Justin wants you to come over here
because it was segregated. In a way, but we did it ourselves.
She would look to her left, look to her right. You know, like, oh, I know what I have to go do now. And she'd go over to Justin, and Justin would spread his legs and allow Lisa to kick him in the balls with these white, pointy cowboy boots on. Every day.
He wanted her to do it?
He loved it. And it blew my young mind. I watched. I was a spectator to this event.
Maybe it's like a BDSM kind of thing.
Looking back, it totally was.
I mean, you explore sexuality at a young age. I mean, it seems weird to talk about. So, talk about grade school, playground. So, at my elementary school, I was probably second, third grade. And I guess she was my girlfriend. We passed notes to each other. Yeah, she was my girlfriend. And there was this big gym. We called it the big gym. I don't know why, because it wasn't a gym. I guess it was like a jungle gym. Giant wood thing, but there was like, I don't know, about how high is that? 3 feet?
Yeah, it's about 3 feet off the ground.
3 feet off the ground, but the tire, you can just crawl underneath it. So we'd crawl underneath it and, quote, make out, which means we just kiss each other a lot.
Now, were these like closed mouths, like little smooches? Was there tongue?
I think there was a little tongue
Young
involved.
tongue?
Young tongue.
All right.
But I don't know why.
Favorite rapper.
It's yo, young tongue here.
Young tongue, what's up, motherfucker? Like, his tongue's hanging out.
He's got a child's tongue. Yes. That's his developmental thing.
Yes, it's a disease, Josh.
Yo, what's that, young tongue?
Yo, what's that, young tongue? My tongue never grown young. That's all he'd say. Okay, so back to the
is that not
young
weird?
Tongue.
And maybe kind of touchy? Getting touchy? Is that weird for being a kid? Write us in at Boys Podcast. I'm not saying like...
Yeah, I'm curious to know, everybody who listens, when was the first time you got touched? Let us know.
I don't mean
touched.
I don't mean like touching genitalia. I just mean like make out touching.
Like young makeout touching.
Yeah.
Like maybe grazing a breast.
Like what? Okay, like
or a butt.
Feeling like the arm. I don't know, like just touching skin felt.
Because it wasn't yours.
No, it wasn't mine. It was new. It was
new
weird.
skin.
It was weird.
New skin in the young tongue.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's it. And that's the time we spent together. And then,
But kicked in the balls?
I know. I was, like I said, I wrote notes. I was a note writer. And I was kind of afraid. I wasn't afraid of girls. I was afraid to talk to them.
Yeah.
No way would I like to be kicked in the balls. I was never physically assaulted by a girl until like high school.
So I go get Lisa. Mm-hmm. She'd walk over all proud in her like denim acid wash jacket, big hair. She'd walk over and he would sit on the edge of the merry-go-round or whatever that thing's. Is that a merry-go-round?
Yeah.
The spinny thing?
Yeah, they took them out of all the playgrounds because they're deadly apparently.
They're fun though.
I love my favorite. It's my favorite thing.
So yeah, he'd be, he'd have his basketball shorts on or whatever, and he'd spread his
getting kicked in the balls with basketball. Did he purposely do it?
Right?
Because it leaves more
hanging.
Yeah.
You know he did. Like he goes to his closet, like his pair of L2s are like neatly folded.
Yeah.
Like his mom's like, "Why do you never wear your jeans?" He's like, "'Cause it's hot, Mom." She's like, "It's fall.
It's Tuesday. It's ball kicking day."
So he dusted off his ball kicking shorts, and dude. So I would watch, and to be honest, I kind of got off on it in a weird way. Maybe not sexually.
Voyeuristic, yeah.
But just to see this happen and be like it blew my mind, so I wanted to watch.
Yeah, like, what is this?
Yeah.
Who does this?
Plus, I was the broker of the ball kickage. So I watched, and she would rear back and fucking kick him square, if I can use era-specific language, in the nards.
Kick him square in the nards.
She'd kick him square in the nards. And he would always like hunch over in pain, get really red, like splotchy red.
But
and he'd be like,
oh yeah.
No, he never acted sexual. But I felt like maybe in retrospect, he was like pushing all that down. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it didn't even hurt. And then she'd like laugh and walk off, back over to her girl group. And then he'd just sit there.
Weird.
But dude, this happened every day for, I want to say 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight of ball kicking.
I bet Justin now goes to a dominatrix. And I'm not knocking that. That's great.
Hey, he knew what he liked at a young age.
Very true. I mean, how to be confident in that enough to be like, hey, go tell that girl I want her to kick me in the balls. But what I'm imagining is you tell him, and then like he starts walking up to her, and she's walking up to him, and then she like spits out a toothpick or something, and then he just assumes position. She just like kicks him in the nuts. He falls down. She turns around and walks away, and it's like that quickly of a thing.
He loved it.
Yeah,
he loved it. It was so weird. Have you ever experienced anything like that? You're like, no, you don't get off by being kicked in the balls.
No, I talked about this before. I had a girlfriend in high school who really liked kicking dudes in the nuts, and she would just kick everyone in the nuts, claiming that it doesn't hurt. I'm like, you're a crazy person. It hurts. Would you like me to kick you in the vagina?
No,
because I'm sure that would hurt.
I'm sure it would, right?
Getting kicked in the,
It's a lot of specific things down there that would have to hurt.
There's things.
Well, anyways, Joel, thank you so much for the email. That was sweet. And
write us in, because that does kind of, write us in with your childhood weird boy-girl or boy-boy or girl-girl thing. That'd be nice, interesting to know.
It'd be real nice. So, this is an interesting time because we just did the podcast on Friday with Dylan, and now we're doing this one on Sunday. So we have a bunch of things on the list here, but I did want to take a moment to talk about how awesome the show was with Dylan.
That was fun.
The addendum on the end.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we recorded that.
Yeah. The Satanist dad. That's crazy.
So if you're listening to this one and you happen to miss the one with Dylan last week,
go back, give her a listen.
Yeah, check it out. It was an awesome episode.
Good up.
And I think with that, we're pretty much done.
We're done.
You're going out of town.
I'm going out of town. That's why we're doing this one. I'm going to Chicago for Riot Fest for 3-4 days. So it's going to be fun.
Give me the deets. What are you excited to see there?
Well, I've never been to Chicago, and I've always wanted to go. So it's going to be a 3-day festival, but the festival's all day. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to actually see Chicago whilst being in a festival. So I'm excited, to see that big giant kidney bean, that chrome kidney bean.
Are you going to get the photo right?
You got to get that photo right in it.
Get it.
I'm joking.
If you go,
I'll do it.
I would do it.
There's some restaurant spots I want to hit up. There's a Chicago Music Exchange. Got to hit that up.
That might be the thing I'm most jealous of, would be the food and CME.
Yeah.
Because, man, that place looks like heaven.
I'm going to hit that up. Basically just a lot of just hanging out, listening to some bands. There's a couple of bands I'm excited to see.
Which ones?
Jawbreaker, because, they broke up when I was like 10 or whatever. At the drive-in, never got to see them live. That'll be fun. 9 Inch Nails, surprisingly, I'm really excited to see her. They put on a great show.
I'm sure it'd be awesome.
But it's just all day, just like great shit, and like bands that haven't played together in a while. Like That Dog is playing. It's just a weird lineup of bands. So it's gonna be fun. Be probably a lot of beer drinking.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to come back with some stories.
I'll come back with some deets, some stories for sure.
From your journey. We
got asked to, hey, can you just film the entire set of a certain artist?
And what did you say?
No. No. I don't film shit for myself because you're not going to go back and watch that video.
No, and who cares?
Who gives a shit?
If you're not there.
Oh, I want to hear that iPhone microphone quality sound.
If it's a professionally shot performance,
for sure.
I love it. I love nothing more.
I did that yesterday.
Than a good video like that.
I YouTubed Reading Festival 2013. Green Day did Dookie in its entirety. I just found out about it. Like a 4-year-old show. But I watched it. It was a 2-hour set. Watched the whole thing.
Was it awesome?
It was filmed beautifully. It was great.
Sounded great. They knew they were being filmed.
Yeah.
So like they play up. You play your best.
Yeah. It's not a fucking theater show in like Biloxi, Mississippi.
With a vertical aligned camera.
So,
shaky as shit.
Shaky as shit. And then you hear it's like, woo! Yeah. And then someone like singing the words wrong.
Yep.
Like, welcome to the place.
I'm gonna go get another beer.
Yeah.
Like the worst. Just put your fucking phone.
Put your phones down.
We've talked about this before. Take your phone out. Take some photos. Josh, take some nice photos.
I'll snap some photos and then I won't post them yet. I'll go back to the hotel room later that night, do some editing of them.
Yes.
Sharpen them up.
Yep.
And then post them later.
Got to stick up some boy stickies while you're there.
I'm going to take a bunch of those.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, yeah, we'll do this again when you get back, man.
Hell yes.
All right.
Bye.